So the first question on our Q&A today is, why does she bring up past in every argument? She's bringing up the past in every argument because the past was not resolved. You were sweeping it under the carpet. So you thought it's been resolved. Many couple, actually, they will end every argument with sex, which is okay. But if you don't really resolve what the problem is, it's going to be a vicious cycle. You are going to keep repeating the same pattern. The same thing will keep happening. So whatever the problem is, you have to solve it. Using sex to solve a problem is not a lasting solution. Is going to backfire. Is going to, what of days that you are menstruating? What of days that you both don't have the passion or the power or the energy, or you just don't feel like? What are you going to do? So learn to use the right channel when you're having issues in your relationship. Next question: how do you fight right in a relationship? Every couple have misunderstanding here and there, but domestic violence is a no-no. So how do we fight right? We fight right by communicating what exactly the problem is when the other person is ready and willing to listen without judgments. That is how we fight right. You have to learn the art of listening and speaking. Those two are very powerful. Sometimes somebody says something, you hear something else. So there's a need for clarification in every conversation, and that really helps. Seek clarification, seek to know what exactly is this person saying before you react, because without an action, there's no reaction. Should I wait for him to be financially stable before saying yes? I will say wait for yourself to be financially stable before saying yes. You can't use another person's pocket or bank account to sustain or fund your own life. I mean, we've seen people who has houses, containers, but something sudden just happened. They went bankrupt. They lost everything. They became sick and lost virtually everything. So no matter, the Bible says in Proverbs, it says money grow wings and fly away. So that somebody is stinkingly rich today does not mean that is how it's going to be forever. Money needs to be sustained. And God bless your soul, you don't really have good people around you who can raise you when you fall. So when couples are going into marriage, the two of them, they know that they are a team, and both of them need to have that financial stability because it's very essential. The Bible says money answereth all things, and God is not a magician. God expects you to work. When God created Adam and Eve, the first thing he gave Adam was a job. He didn't give him the wife first. He gave him a job. So he asked him to tend the garden. So I want to believe that it's very essential. If money is very important to you, wait for him to be financially independent. Because then if I ask you as a woman to be independent first, to be financially independent, and go into marriage and sustain the relationship, sustain your spouse, it's going to be overwhelming for you at some point. The same thing applies to the man. If I ask you to be financially independent without empowering your wife, you are still going to have problem, because at some point you will also be tired. A lot of men that disrespect their wife is because the woman is not empowered. If the woman is empowered, you can't disrespect her the way some of you do. So I want to believe that it's very essential for the two parties that is coming into the relationship to be financially empowered. That way you can dictate what you want. You can both have voice in that relationship so that there will be power balance. One person will not look like a slave to the other person. But where there is love, people should also know that your money is my money is your money. especially if the other person is not a greedy person or a selfish person or unfaithful person. So if people are going to be loyal, be kind, exhibit the fruit of the spirit in the relationship, nothing stops you from coming into the relationship when somebody has more than the other person, in the relationship. But do what works best for you. What do you want? Do what you want is very important. The next question: how do I know he's serious about me? He's serious about you when he takes you to meet his family. He's serious about you when he discusses the future with you. He's serious about you when he asks for where you want to be in his life in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. He's serious with you when he's asking for your hand in marriage. When you keep dating, what are you doing that you're dating for 10 years, for 5 years? I don't understand. You don't date, you court. So if you date like 3 times, you just, I don't know. I don't understand that aspect of dating, but it's very essential to clarify things. So if this person doesn't tell you where the relationship is, don't let them hang around you. Because I hate that canopy ministry thing that, a lot of brothers do. You don't want to marry me, but you see me off to after service. You see me off. You are the first person I see in the morning. You are the first person that sent me a good night message. You are the first person that sent me a good morning message. Tell me what you want, and let's know where we are going. If the man is doing like that with you, you need to ask them questions. Don't wave it. Don't allow anybody to tie you down with canopy ministry. Is it wrong to marry someone I'm not deeply in love with? Love grows. So if you are not deeply in love with them today, I have said it in one of the last Q&A, often you really don't have to fall deeply in love with someone all at once. What makes you fall in love is the act of kindness, gentleness, goodness that they exhibit to you. That is what makes a woman fall in love. So you fall in love because of their character. So if you see that their character is consistent, even if you haven't really fallen in love with them, but they have consistent character of kindness. I mean, people won't hide a lot. Time exposes people. So when they are constant in their pattern of kindness, they're not only kind to you, they are kind to excuse me, they are kind to people around them. They are kind to their parents. They are kind to their siblings. Once you see people like that, they are genuine. So as time goes on, they will keep doing the same thing. They will keep doing the same thing, and you keep loving them. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. Can a man love you and still not be ready to commit? Yes. Commitment is about character. Commitment is about readiness. Commitment is about, I've made my decision and I want to be with you for the rest of my life. So it's a very big decision. And for some people, they love you, but they are afraid to commit because they have not made that decision. So if they've not made that decision, don't expect them to be able to commit. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. They are not just ready for that decision. What matters more, love or character? Character is what we are going to take first, face value. Love is, face value. But character is deep. Is deeply embedded in what the person say, how they move, how they respond, how they act. Character is a function of consistency in how they treat other people and how they treat you. If it's consistent, then I think that is very important. There is no way you love someone that you treat them badly. If you really love someone and you treat them badly, you will be able to easily apologize. Maybe you treated them badly as a result of what you are going through or as a result of what is going on with you. But when you see someone who is constantly treating you badly, but they shower you with gifts, they shower you with so many things that makes you feel like they love you, then I would say take care of that aspect before you go into marriage with them. That will not be fun. You won't like it at the end of the day. Okay, so let's look at this. How long should dating last before marriage? I don't know. In our own time, we don't emphasize, even though it was the time of Pastor Bimbo when they were actually talking about dating, but where I grew up as a Christian, we don't encourage dating. We encourage courtship. You want to marry this person, you tell them that you want to marry them. There is no paparazzi, nothing. You want to marry them, you tell them, this is what God is saying. Do you want to go and pray? Or you just like them, you tell them, and you start courting, and that is it. And you can involve few people. You can involve your pastor, you can involve your Christian godmother, you can involve people to help you pray along and see. Here is something I need to clarify to us. Whether you pray, whether you don't pray, there will be challenges in marriage. When the storm came, the wise build on the rock, the foolish build on the sand. They both build. And what happened? Something is common to both of them. The storm came to both of them. So let's have that at the back of our mind. And that was why that last question is very important. The love and character are very important. But when storms comes in marriage, love can easily flow away, I tell you. But the character is what will sustain you along the line. So it is very important to not just date and waste time. Don't date and be wasting time. Go into your courtship, and if the courtship doesn't work, that's fine, you end it. But if you keep dating, how many people do you want to date? For how long? Am I settling or being realistic? I don't know what this question really means. But when you are settling, it means that you got married and you just have one child or two or three, and then every year you are just popping out baby, and you're just living your life like you don't have any purpose, you don't have any vision. If you are just living like that, then you have settled, okay? You have settled. But if you are being realistic means that right now my baby is just 2 months old. I need to focus on this baby. I don't have to go look for a job. For example, in the United States, I used to have a friend who pays $400 every week or every month or so. I think $100 or so, and I'm talking about 8 years ago that she's taking her child to the daycare, and the woman was collecting $400 per month. Excuse me, and at the time I can't remember how much her salary was, but her salary was not even up to $1,200. You see what that is? It means that in America, if you don't have anybody helping you, you and your husband cannot be going out to work at the same time, because when you don't have anyone to keep the baby for you, then whatever you make while you go to work, you are going to spend it on paying for the nanny. So that does not make sense. That is what being realistic mean. But settling mean you keep popping baby every year, every year. That is not being realistic. That is you settling. Yeah. So once you have your children, once you have the number of children you want to have, then get back to business. If it's business, if it's work, if it's whatever you feel that will make you feel fulfilled. Because as much as we want to nurture and nourish our children, we still need something. What God has called us to do. Yes, part of what God called you to do is to take care of your family. But trust me, much more. There is something there out in the world that God wants you to solve for some people. So I chose the next question. I chose abstinence. He agreed. Now he wants us to marry now because of pressure for sex. Okay, so I feel like this might be, the last question. Or let's keep going and see how far we can go. Pressure for sex does not solve anything. When you get married too, there will be pressure for sex. You will have one hot girl in the office that dress better than your wife, that has nicer skin than your wife. You might have secretary that have nicer skin than your wife. You might, so many things that will make you, make your body shiver. There will be that guy in your office or when you went to the bank or when you went to the gym that has six-pack that will always be attractive. And there will always be pressure everywhere. Married people too have pressure. I used to have a friend that people were, practically sending him their nude picture. They were practically sending that to him. And I feel sorry because is an eyesore. You know why? This person, actually, the other person that was sending nude picture to them was a married person. Not only a married person, there happens to be, quote unquote, someone whose husband is out there as a religious leader. So you will see that we have a big problem in our hands, in our society. You see what recently happened, the Cabot people. So you will see that is not a function of I want to marry to keep off pressure. There will always be pressure everywhere. But one thing that helps is boundary. So if you both don't learn how to set boundary before you get married now, and you make that to push you into marriage, you will not always be with your husband 247. You will not always be with your wife 247. And that place does not have a padlock. So you can't even padlock it and then take the key along. No. But learning to set boundary before you get married will help you to set boundary with other women, with other men. It's that simple. Learning to set boundaries is very important. That will keep you from a lot of trouble in the world. The world itself has enough problem. So if you say, I want to run away from the world and run into the marriage thinking, no, you're still in the world. So pressure for sex should not be what will take you into marriage. If you love each other and you really feel you want to maintain abstinence, you have to address it and tell each other how to prevent it. Now let's look at the next question. Maybe we can do one more. Should a man tell a woman his financial situation before marriage? Yes, 100% yes. Let them know. So Yoruba ma say pé tó bá pé wọn, if they feel that they are okay with it, even if your credit score is 0, even if your bank account is 0, let them know. So that if they want, they stay. If they don't want, they don't stay. Is it a red flag if he doesn't have a stable income yet? It's not a red flag. It simply means he's yet to figure it out. And if you feel that you can wait for someone that is yet to figure it out, good for you. If you cannot wait for someone who is yet to figure it out, my dear, move along. How do couples talk about money without fighting? Couples talk about money without fighting by having the same bank account. That's because that helps you to like see what comes in for both of you and how much you have designed. What's the budget? Who is spending above the budget? Who is spending below the budget? How do we balance things? Who is doing this? So if you are able to, one thing that will really help, people have separate finances, which is okay depending on how much you can trust that other person. But if you really trust the other person and you don't really want to be having problem with them, one of the best way is to learn to have a family budget. Have a family budget where you know what comes in for the other person, you know what comes in for you. Then the next thing is, from the family budget that you have an account where you put money into that family budget. So whatever you do with everything that has to do with the family, that is where, from that account, that you take care of things. So that way there won't be fights. Because why? You have predetermined things. And it works. It works. It works if you want it to work. And these are the things we teach at Family Life Builders Academy. So make sure you sign up. Should we split bill, or is that unbiblical? I don't know. I did not see excuse me, I did not see where in the scripture that they split bills. I don't know. I've not seen that in the Bible where they split bills. I don't know. But look at your pockets, and if you want to share bills, share. If you don't want to share, if you really want someone that will take care of you like a queen or a princess, if that person does not meet that standard and you are not willing to wait, it's up to you. It's up to you. Don't do what will make you grumble and not like that person. You don't have to put the other person in a position where they will not be happy or where you will not be happy. Are my parents and siblings also third party in my marriage? Yes, please. And I think this will be the last question I'll be treating. Your parents and your siblings are also third party in your marriage. The best third party that you have, sometimes you have things that hurt you that you want to discuss with your family or with your siblings, but you have to discuss it with wisdom. You have to be the one that bring the problem. You have to be the one that bring the solution, because sometimes the solution people will give you is because they love you, so they don't want you to suffer. They don't want anything to happen to you. And then if that solution is different from what you have in mind, you probably don't have to bother to tell them at all, or when you tell them, resort to what you have in your mind. For the most part, except for few people that come into therapy, people know what they want to do, and what they want to do is what they will still do, no matter what you say, no matter how you persuade them. Even if you put fire in your mouth, even if you put money in your mouth, people will do what they want to do. People do what they want to do. So let me know in the comment section, do you actually think the best third party could be siblings or parents? Some parents are very good. Some parents are, like if my father happens to be Baba Deboye, maybe It might be a good third party, you know. So but basically you need a third party that is neutral. It may be a therapist, maybe a coach, maybe a trusted pastor or a trusted pastor's wife, or a godly person that will be able to give you a balanced view of things. I hope this helps someone. God bless you. Keep the question coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.